I know this might be uncomfortable to hear, but someone needs to say it. There's a chance you might smell not so fresh, and worse, you might not even know it. I'm not talking about bad hygiene. This isn't about skipping showers or forgetting deodorant. I'm talking about the little habits we've had for years, the quiet choices we make every day that can slowly turn into invisible culprits behind a scent that just lingers. Look, no one wants to be remembered as the sweet older woman with a not-so-sweet smell. I've been there. And trust me, it's not always your fault. Our bodies change as we age. Our skin, our hormones, even our sense of smell, it all shifts. And sometimes the people around us notice something before we do. That doesn't make us careless. It makes us human. Today, I'm going to walk you through 6 silent habits that might be working against your freshness, and how you can fix each one simply, affordably, and without harsh chemicals or fancy products. These are tips I wish someone had told me sooner, because when you feel clean, you feel confident, and confidence at any age is always in style. Let's get into it. Section 1. Smells that stick to you. And it's not you, it's your stuff. Let me tell you something that completely changed the way I think about body odor. One afternoon, I was sitting with my granddaughter on the couch, flipping through photo albums. She leaned in for a hug, and just as sweet as can be, she wrinkled her nose. She didn't say anything, bless her heart, but I saw it, and I thought, wait a minute. Is that me? Now here's the kicker. I had showered that morning, fresh clothes, brushed hair, even a spritz of my favorite body mist. But what I didn't realize until later was this. It wasn't me. Not exactly. It was my stuff. You see, as we get older, our bodies change, but so do the things we use every day. And over time, they start to hold on to smells we barely notice. Things like your pillowcase, your favorite scrunchie, your hairbrush, even that throw blanket you keep on the recliner. These items pick up oils from your scalp, dead skin cells, perfume residue, and yes, even a bit of sweat. And if they're not cleaned regularly, they start giving off a sour or musty scent that follows you, whether you realize it or not. Let's start with hair accessories. Be honest, when was the last time you washed that hairbrush sitting on your bathroom counter? If you can't remember, you're not alone. I used to think brushing clean hair meant my brush stayed clean too. Turns out every time we run that brush through our hair, we're picking up natural oils, leftover styling products, and dead skin. Same goes for that soft headband you use during your evening skincare routine. Over time, it builds up, and when you put it back on your clean scalp, it reintroduces everything you just washed away. It's like cleaning the kitchen and then wiping your counters with a dirty sponge. What really got me was my velvet scrunchie. I love that thing. Bought it at a little market in Florence years ago. Deep burgundy, soft as a kitten, and I wore it constantly until one night I smelled something off while reading in bed. I thought it was the sheets. Nope, it was that scrunchie. I gave it a sniff up close and just about jumped. Old hairspray, scalp oil, maybe even some dry shampoo from 2019. That was rubbing against my clean head every single day. Same goes for shoes. We clean our floors, we wash our clothes, but our shoes? They're like mobile little smell factories, especially if you wear the same pair around the house, to the store, in the garden, without socks. Our feet sweat, even if we don't feel it. And that moisture soaks into the lining of the shoes, where it sits and ferments. Lovely, right? Now, here's the good news. You don't need to throw anything out or spend a dime on fancy sprays. Just create a cleaning habit. Wash hair accessories once a week. Pop scrunchies and cloth headbands into a mesh laundry bag and toss them in the wash. Clean your brush by soaking it in warm water with a little shampoo and baking soda. Pull the old hair out first. That stuff holds smell like a sponge. Let everything dry thoroughly. For shoes, try this. Place a couple of dry, unused black tea bags inside them overnight. Tea naturally absorbs moisture and neutralizes odor. It's old school, but it works. And when the weather allows, leave your shoes out in the sun for a few hours. Sunlight is a natural deodorizer, and it won't cost you a penny. So the next time you notice a little funk and you know it's not your body, take a look around. Sometimes the scent that's giving you away isn't coming from you at all. It's coming from the things closest to you. Now that we've tackled your stuff, let's talk about something most of us completely overlook, even though we deal with it every single day. Section 2. The sleep smell trap. Clean dreams. Start with clean sheets. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you changed your pajamas? Not your sheets, your actual pajamas. Be honest. Because for years I had this flannel nightgown that I wore every night through the entire winter. It was warm, it was soft, and it felt like a hug. I called it my cozy cocoon. But guess what? That cocoon held a whole lot more than comfort. I didn't think twice about it. I showered before bed, I didn't sweat much, or so I thought, and I lived alone. So who was I trying to impress, right? But then my oldest friend from college came to stay the night. The next morning, over coffee, she leaned in and gently said, "Do you ever wash your pillowcases more than once a month?" She said it kindly, but oof, it hit me. I'd gotten too comfortable, literally. The truth is, our bodies are busy at night. Even if you go to bed clean, you still sweat. You shed skin. You drool a little. Breathe out moisture, toss and turn. And if your sheets and pajamas haven't been washed in a while, all that builds up, day after day, night after night. The result? That faint, musty, sour scent that seems to cling to your neckline in the morning. You might not notice it, but trust me, someone else will. Doctors recommend washing sheets once a week and pajamas every 2 to 3 wears, especially in warmer months. I used to think that was a bit much, but once I actually tried it, I noticed something right away. I slept better. I felt fresher when I woke up. My skin even looked better. It's like putting on fresh clothes in the morning, only in reverse. So here's what I do now, and you might want to try it. I keep 2 full sheet sets, one on the bed, one ready in the closet. Sunday is sheet swap day. Takes 10 minutes, tops. As for pajamas, I bought a few lightweight cotton sets in neutral colors. Nothing fancy, just soft, breathable, and easy to wash. I rotate them every 2 to 3 nights and toss the used ones in a little laundry bin I keep in the closet. And while we're here, let's not forget what's under the sheets. Your mattress and your pillows hold on to smells too. I sprinkle baking soda over my mattress once a month, let it sit while I do the dishes, then vacuum it up. It's simple, cheap, and it works. I also toss my pillows in the washer twice a year. Yes, you can wash your pillows. Just check the label. The goal isn't perfection. It's peace of mind. And believe me, nothing says peace quite like sliding into a bed that smells clean, feels fresh, and supports good rest. Aging with dignity doesn't stop at skincare or diet. It lives in the little habits like respecting your sleep space. Next up, we're heading into territory most women don't even think about. But once you hear it, you won't unhear it. Let's talk about what's hiding under your arms and why just showering isn't enough. Section 3. The Underarm Oversight. You shower, but do you really clean? Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like you were doing everything right, but something still didn't smell quite fresh? You shower, you use deodorant, maybe even an antibacterial soap. And yet, halfway through the day, there it is again. That subtle, sour smell. It's frustrating, isn't it? Well, here's the part nobody tells you. Your underarms might look clean, but that doesn't mean they are clean. I found this out the hard way. I went to see my dermatologist a couple of years ago because I thought I was developing some kind of age-related odor. It was really bothering me. I was showering daily, wearing fresh clothes, using all the right products. And you know what she told me? I had a buildup under my arms. Not just sweat, but layers of old deodorant, dead skin and trapped bacteria that regular soap just wasn't cutting through. I was floored. I mean, who thinks about exfoliating their armpits? We exfoliate our face, maybe our elbows or our feet, but our underarms? Never even crossed my mind. She explained it like this. Most deodorants, especially those long-lasting ones we rely on, leave behind a waxy residue. That residue builds up day after day, especially if you reapply without fully scrubbing it off first. Add in dead skin cells, which our bodies still shed, even at 70, and you've got the perfect storm for odor. Not because you're dirty, but because your skin literally can't breathe. So here's what changed everything for me. Twice a week now, I use a soft washcloth or a silicone scrubber, not a harsh loofah, just something gentle. And I give my underarms a proper clean. Warm water, a little mild soap, slow circular motions. It takes less than a minute. And let me tell you, the first time I did this, I was shocked. The washcloth came away gray. That was layers of buildup I'd never seen before. After just a week of doing this, my underarms felt smoother, looked healthier, and yes, smelled fresher all day long. No special products, no expensive treatments, just a little more intention in how I clean. And once you start, you won't go back. I also rinse extra thoroughly because leftover soap or deodorant is often the reason we end up smelling off by the afternoon. And here's a tip. If you really want to reset your underarms, try skipping deodorant for a weekend. Just exfoliate, rinse well, and give your skin a break. You'd be surprised how much of that lingering smell wasn't from sweat. It was from what was left behind. So yes, you might be clean, but if your underarms still smell off, you're probably not cleaning deep enough. It's not about scrubbing harder. It's about scrubbing smarter. Now we've taken care of our bodies, our sleep space, and our underarms. But there's one item we wear almost daily that often gets completely overlooked. Coming up next, the surprising ways your favorite bra could be betraying your freshness. Section 4. The bra mistake. Your favorite might be your smelliest. Let's talk about bras. I know, of all things, right? But stay with me, because this one caught me completely off guard. For the longest time, I had a go-to bra. You know the one. Super comfortable, just the right fit, held everything in place without digging into my shoulders. I wore it everywhere. Grocery store? Wore it. Lunch with the girls? Wore it. Around the house? You bet. And I didn't think much of it because I wasn't sweating buckets. It still looked clean. It felt clean. So I figured it was fine to wear a few times before washing. But here's what no one ever told me. Even if you're not sweating heavily, your body is still producing oils. Your skin is still shedding. And those favorite bras of ours? They're right up against warm skin all day long, trapping everything. Body heat, bacteria, deodorant, residue, even perfume. Over time, those build up in the fabric, especially right under the bust and along the straps. And if we don't wash them often enough, they start to develop an odor. Sometimes it's subtle. Other times, not so much. I'll never forget the day I hugged my niece and saw her little face twist just a bit. She didn't say anything, but her nose wrinkled. And I knew. I knew right then. It was me. Or more accurately, it was my bra. After that, I made a few small changes that made a huge difference. First off, I started rotating my bras instead of wearing the same one back to back. Giving the elastic time to rest also helps them last longer. And I committed to washing each one after 2 or 3 wears. Yes, it adds a little more laundry, but it's worth it. I also paid more attention to fabric. Some synthetic materials hold on to odor even after washing. I switched to mostly cotton bras, breathable, washable, and easier on the skin. And let's not forget about those removable pads some bras have. If you're not taking them out and washing them separately, they can trap more smell than the bra itself. Now, I know laundry can feel like a chore, especially when your back aches or the laundry room is down a flight of stairs. But here's how I reframed it. A clean bra isn't just about hygiene, it's about self-respect, dignity, confidence. I don't need to smell like a field of roses. I just don't want to be remembered for a musty hug. So next time you put on your favorite bra, ask yourself, when's the last time it had a bath? If you can't remember, it's probably time. Trust me, your skin and anyone you hug will thank you. Coming up, we're diving into a habit most of us thought made us smell better, but might actually be making things worse. Let's talk about perfume and the surprising ways it backfires as we age. Section 5, the fragrance trap. When more perfume isn't the answer. Now this one's a little personal and maybe a little controversial because I know a lot of us love our signature scent. That one perfume we've worn for decades. Maybe it's Chanel No. 5. Maybe it's something from the drugstore with a little shimmer in the bottle. For me, it was a rose musk blend I used to dab behind my ears every single morning. It made me feel elegant, familiar, more me. But here's what I didn't understand until well into my 60s. How our skin changes over time completely alters the way perfume smells on us. It's not just a matter of personal preference, it's chemistry, literally. As we age, our skin gets drier, hormones shift, our body temperature regulates differently, and suddenly, that perfume that smelled light and clean in your 40s now smells a little heavy, maybe even sour by the afternoon. And what's worse, many of us can't even smell the difference. Why? Because your nose gets used to your scent over time, so you don't notice it, but other people do. That's exactly what happened to me. I'd been layering on the same perfume every day, even reapplying it halfway through, thinking it had worn off. But one day, my neighbor gave me a hug and said, "Wow, your perfume is strong today." And not in a good way. It hit me like a brick. I realized I'd been walking around in a scent cloud trying to cover something instead of fixing the root of it. That's the real trap. When we think more fragrance will hide body odor, but it doesn't. It just blends with it. And that mix, it's not floral. It's not feminine. It's confusing, almost sour, almost stale. Like putting air freshener in a room that hasn't been cleaned in a week. It doesn't help. It just adds another layer. So here's what I do now. I still wear a scent, but I treat it like jewelry, something you add to feel a little extra, not something you use to hide. I switched to a light body mist with no alcohol, just a spritz behind the knees or on the back of the neck if I'm going out. And that's it. No layering, no doubling up. Less is better. I also keep a small pack of fragrance-free baby wipes in my purse. Not for babies, for me. If I've been running errands all day or I've had lunch in a warm cafe, I excuse myself to the restroom, wipe down my neck, underarms, and hands. Quick, clean, and discreet. That fresh feeling lasts longer than perfume ever did. The truth is, clean always smells better than covered up. So if you're noticing that your perfume doesn't sit quite right anymore, or someone around you starts rubbing their nose during hugs, it might be time to rethink how and why you're using fragrance. Now, before we wrap this up, there's one more habit we all tend to overlook. It's small, it's sneaky, and it might be hiding right under your feet. Let's talk shoes and why they could be the smelliest part of your outfit. Section 6, the footwear fallout. When the smell follows you. Let me paint a little picture for you. One day, I was tidying up around the house, and I caught a whiff of something unpleasant. Kind of sour, kind of earthy. Naturally, I blamed the dog. Then I blamed the garbage disposal. But nope, it was my shoes. Or more specifically, the inside of my favorite orthopedic sandals that I'd been slipping on day after day all season long. Here's the thing. We clean our floors. We vacuum the rugs. We even mop under the fridge now and then. But when's the last time you cleaned the inside of your shoes? I get it. It's easy to overlook. But the truth is, our feet can be one of the biggest sources of body odor, especially as we get older. Our sweat glands don't retire when we do. And depending on our health, medications, or circulation, we might even sweat more than we used to. On top of that, our sense of smell often dulls with age. So what we don't smell, others might pick up right away. And shoes, they trap everything. Heat, moisture, bacteria, especially when we wear the same pair all the time without socks or foot liners. That comfortable, broken-in feel might be hiding a smell that lingers even after we've taken them off. But don't worry, this one's easy to fix. First, check if your shoes are washable. You'd be surprised how many are, especially sneakers, slip-ons, and even some orthopedic styles. If they're not machine washable, at least remove the insoles and wash or air them out separately. That alone can make a huge difference. Second, let your shoes breathe, literally. Don't wear the same pair 2 days in a row. Give them time to air out. Set them near a window or outside in the sun when the weather's nice. Sunlight is a natural deodorizer. Third, try a little baking soda. Sprinkle some inside your shoes at night, shake them out in the morning, or tuck a couple of unused black tea bags inside each shoe. Tea naturally absorbs moisture and odor. I do this weekly now, and it works like a charm. And whatever you do, wear socks, even if they're just thin footies. That tiny layer of fabric is your first line of defense between your skin and the shoe lining. I used to think socks made my feet hotter, but in reality, they keep the sweat off the shoe and make it easier to manage. You wouldn't believe how much of that lingering old person smell people talk about is actually just coming from neglected shoes. Not your body, not your clothes, your footwear. Once I started paying attention to this, everything changed. I felt fresher just walking around the house. I stopped catching that mystery smell at the door. And let's be honest, there's nothing better than slipping into a clean, fresh pair of shoes that don't announce you before you say hello. So take a moment, check your most worn pair. Give them a sniff. If they've been working overtime without a break, give them the TLC they deserve. Your feet and everyone around you will thank you. Now let's bring it all together. So here's the truth. None of us want to be remembered for the wrong reasons. And yet, most of the smells that creep up on us as we age aren't because we're lazy or unclean. They're the result of tiny habits we've had for years, things we were never taught to question. A favorite pair of shoes, a worn-in bra, that cozy nightgown we've held onto for too long. They carry our memories, but sometimes they also carry our scent, and not always in a good way. But here's the beautiful part. Every single one of these habits is fixable. No expensive products, no complicated routines, just small intentional changes that keep us feeling confident, clean, and in control of how we move through the world. Because aging doesn't mean fading. It doesn't mean giving up on self-care or accepting less than we deserve. It means we've earned the wisdom to know better and the right to feel good in our own skin. So whether it's exfoliating your underarms, rotating your bras, or finally tossing that scrunchie from 1998, you're not just cleaning up, you're showing up for yourself. And if this video made you think or gave you even one idea to feel a little fresher tomorrow than you did today, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one self-care tip you swear by? Something that makes you feel put together, even on an ordinary day. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We talk about everything here, from beauty and body care to mindset, memory, and staying joyful after 60. This channel is about growing older with strength, style, and a little bit of sass. You can also join my free newsletter. It's linked right below in the description. I send out weekly tips, stories, and practical advice for women who are rewriting the rules of aging. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and remember, smelling fresh isn't about being perfect. It's about paying attention with love. See you soon.